Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Jess Leal in this incarnation. So today I'm here to talk about Mary Magdalene and Jesus. I'm going to tell you the short story in a very simple way, just to know a little more about them, and just to bring Mary Magdalene to the history, because I really think that the church, people that are in control of these things, has taken off the Bible. The Bible is an edited book, and there's many things that they removed in order to manipulate the people, and they didn't want us to see Jesus like a human. They didn't want us to see Jesus like someone that had a wife, that practiced sacred sexuality. They didn't want us to believe that he could reach illumination in his process in this earth. And they didn't want us to believe that, because they didn't want us to know that everyone, every people, every one of us, all of us, sorry, we can access to that state of illumination. And I think I told you before, but they were twin flames. They had a mission together. So for me, it's very important to talk about their story, because the religions have distorted in every way. And Jesus was a divine person, but because he was connected to the divine, and that connection is a connection that we all have access to. And Mary Magdalene was part of his mission, and she continued the legacy. Nothing could would all the teachings he left, he transmitted to her, and she continued with the legacy. So her role is very important, was very important, and it is nowadays, I think. So the first photo I will show you is this one. This is from a church in Scotland, and I think it's a very beautiful one. I always get emotional when I see it, because I think this photo really represents the love they felt for each other. And I'm going to put it closer. We can see how she was maybe pregnant, or maybe she was carrying a child. So this is a very interesting image. I really love it. It's not that old, it's not that ancient, but I think it's a very, very beautiful representation. So I'm going to start by saying that her real name was Miriam from Magdala, which was her town, the place where she was born. And she was a very, very, very educated woman. I already told you yesterday in the video of the symbology that she was initiated in the school of Isis in Egypt. Jesus was initiated in Egypt too. She was in the school of Isis, which was a spiritual school of sexuality and magic, but not in that way that the church tried to get us thinking. The priestesses, they were taught to use their sexual energy, and I already told you this yesterday, and I already did a video explaining you how we can use our sexual energy too. I will leave the link in the first comment below, like I always do. So her father was a person that has money, actually, so she did, because he was in the fish trade, and her father taught her the Torah. So this was very transgressive because it wasn't allowed at that time that women could access to Torah. But she could. Her father let her, and it's very important to say that they met. Mary Magdalene and Jesus. The real name of Jesus is Yeshua ben Yosef, but we're going to keep calling him Jesus because it's easier. They met in a synagogue in Magdala. Because Jesus predicated in all that area and was traveling at that time. So when she knew him, he was predicating, and it is said that when she heard the things that Jesus was saying, she started to follow him until his last days. She was his most faithful disciple. She was part of the disciples, and actually Da Vinci has a painting representing this. Mary Magdalene is actually sitting on the side of Jesus. I'm going to show you, I'm going to read, this is the only passage I am going to read about the Bible. This is the first miracle of Jesus, and it is called the wedding at Cana, or it is called Canaan too. And it says, "On the third day there was a wedding at Cana in Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. Jesus also was invited to the wedding with his disciples. When the wine ran out, the mother of Jesus said to him, 'They have no wine.' And Jesus said to her, 'Woman, what does this have to do with me? My hour has not yet come.' His mother said to the servants, 'Do whatever he tells you.' Now there were 6 stone water jars there for the Jewish rites of purification, each holding 20 or 30 gallons. Jesus said to the servants, 'Fill the jars with water,' and they filled them up to the brim. And he said to them, 'Now draw some out and take it to the master of the feast.' So they took it. When the master of the feast tasted the water now become wine, and did not know where it came from, for the servants who had drawn the water knew, the master of the feast called the bridge room and said to him, 'Everyone serves the good wine first, and when people have drunk freely, then the poor wine, but you have kept the good wine until now.'" This is very important because many people think that this wedding actually wasn't a wedding that Jesus was invited, but it was his own wedding, his own wedding with Mary Magdalene. But this was secretly removed, of course, from the Bible. And it's crazy to hear how his mother is acting like the hostess. I don't know if it is said hostess, but she's acting like that, like she's giving orders to the people, to the servants. And why is she doing that? And I think I really like that part that he's asking to her, like, "Woman, what does this have to do with me? My hour has not yet come," because he is talking to her like a human, like, "I know I have this mission, but I really want to enjoy this day." I think he's trying to say that. And I really think that this wedding was the wedding of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. I really think it, and it's a very rare text. I think Mary, his mother, is acting in a very weird way just to be invited to a wedding. Beyond Mary Magdalene was his wife. It is said in the apocryphal texts that he transmitted many teachings that weren't transmitted to the disciples. In fact, she transmitted those teachings to them, and this caused discomfort between them, because again, she was a woman, and it was very transgressive to be educated, and it caused discomfort because Jesus was like choosing her, or this is what they felt. And many times they didn't understand many things in a profound way because they were fishermen, and not only because of that, they couldn't understand, because knowledge, it's not only about rational mind, or intellectual intelligence, but Mary Magdalene received these words about, from Jesus, and this is very important because she was the one that was going to continue with the legacy. But of course, the disciples, they continue with that too. They continued. It is important to say that Jesus was Jewish. He was from the tribe of Judah, and Mary Magdalene was from the tribe of Benjamin. And this union was very important, not only in a spiritual way, because I already told you so, that they were twin flames. They had a pact and they had a mission together, but they had a spiritual force, a political force, sorry, because Jesus had in his blood the DNA of the King Solomon. So he actually was a descendant of him and could ask for the throne. So their union was not only a spiritual force, as I said, it had a political force, and I think this reason was also a reason for persecute him. And this we can see this during his passion, what we call the Passion of Christ, the crown of thorns, and those jokes that they do with him, they did with him, were because he actually was a king, or he could ask for that throne, for that position. So I will not talk about the crucifixion. There's many theories. I've seen many things about that. There's a channeling that I saw once, and I'm commenting this because I resound with this. But it is said that Jesus didn't suffer at the cross. Actually, that they use it just to get us thinking that we are guilty. They practice like a miracle with Mary Magdalene in this channeling that it's on the internet. I think you can find it. It is said that they practiced sacred sexuality the day before, and that the body of Jesus was charged with this energy, so he could support the crucifixion without suffer. And there's other theories that he never went crucified. But well, there's no certainty about this. There are only theories. But okay, after that, and it's important to say that in the resurrection, 3 days before the crucifixion, that's the story we all know, he appeared to Mary Magdalene, not to other person, because actually she was again his divine wife. So the story continues after that. All of them disciples, this of course includes Mary Magdalene, all of them escaped because they were persecuted. So all of them, well, they started their mission actually, because that's when they began to evangelize. So they spread the word in every place they traveled. And here it is said that Mary Magdalene escaped in a boat with Lazarus, Martha, Mary, I don't know how to say in English, Jacobella, and Mary Salome. I don't know the traduction, but they went with her, and I'm going to show you a painting, and it's a very beautiful one, because as you can see, there's some angels in the sky, like protecting them, because it was very important for Mary Magdalene to continue with the legacy of Jesus. So I like this painting very much. So what is important about this is that there's two theories too about the escape of Mary Magdalene. She ends in the south of France, and there's the place that their legacy starts. And these two theories have to do with that Mary Magdalene was pregnant. Some people said she was pregnant, she was traveling pregnant, and some other people said that she already gave birth, and that their daughter, her daughter, was traveling with her. Some people said that there's people that confused her daughter with a servant, but it could be because she had like darker skin, but that could happen because of the sun and all the things they have went through when they were traveling. So there's many theories, but they did had a daughter, and it is said that they had a son too, and that the son, whose name was Yeshua David, that he went with his with Jose from Arimathea, I think it is in English. Sorry for the translation of those names, because I didn't check it before. So they went to England, Joseph from Arimathea, and the son of Jesus, they went to England, and it is said that Mary Magdalene escaped with her daughter. After that, Sarah, the daughter of Jesus, and Mary Magdalene married King Antenor IV, and they perpetuated the lineage of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. So these were secretly perpetuated because they were persecuted again, and they did the foundation of the Merovingian house, who it's important to say that they founded Paris, which means for Isis in English, para Isis, and in Spanish, sorry, para Isis. So I will keep going from the story I was telling. So the Merovingian house began to expand, but there were many conspirations, and a king who was called Dagoberto was killed. So it was thought that the Merovingian house was totally extinguished, but actually a son of Dagoberto, Sigeberto, escaped, ran away, and from the descendant of him came this man that we know in the history, whose name is Godofredo de Bouillon. Godofredo found in 1099 the Order of Temple, what we call the first Knight Templars. And they did this because they had so many secrets, and he was about to die, so he wanted to transmit all the secrets. So the Knight Templars guarded the relics and the documentation of the descendant of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. They were actually their guards. And other thing that it's very important to talk about, it's about the Cathars, because they were descendant of Mary Magdalene too. Of course, all the south of France was impressed with this energy, of this Magdalene energy, and the Cathars were descendants too. So it is said that the Cathars participated of the order of the temple. They actually were very linked in this process. And one thing about I want to say about this, it is that in the last massacre that this extinguished them, they were burned alive by the Pope Benedict. There was a prophecy. I am going to tell you now that it was said. This was said by a man called Guillaume Belivast in the year 1321, and was the last Cathar. And before he was burned, he said, in 700 years the laurel will become green again, and good people will return. And this prophecy, it's I think it's very beautiful, because that year was the last year, the 2021. So that's the main reason why I called my channel, my YouTube channel, the laurels be eternal, and because that's a phrase, that's a verse of the Argentinian anthem. So the last thing I am going to say, I'm not gonna read it this time because I didn't find the traduction in English, and it's an epic poem about Parsifal from Wolfram von Eschenbach. It's an epic poem. And this talks about the Knight Templars, and it's very crazy because this poem was written like 2 centuries before America was discovered, and I will talk about this later in another video. But it wasn't like that. The history wasn't like they told us. And they, in this poem, it is mentioned the lands of Argentum this way, and it is said that the Knight Templars went to the south of South America. Actually, there's a place in Argentina that had marks a Templar cross, and it is said that the Knight Templars actually arrived there. So this is very interesting because I think they knew a lot of they knew more than history told us. And the last thing I am going to show is that there's many representations about Mary Magdalene, but this one, this card of tarot, that it's very known. I think Pamela Coleman Smith, who was the actual drawer of this tarot, I think she inspired in Mary Magdalene. The laurels appeared again, and I think I'm gonna show I lost the word, but this is the symbol of Argentina, and I think they are very similar. And I told you so that these lands will receive a lot of brothers and sisters after the cataclysm. So I think there's many signs, that these lands are connected with all of these, So in this poem that was written 2 centuries before, they were mentioning Argentum. So it's really interesting. Okay, people, I will leave it here. Thank you, everybody. See you in next videos. Goodbye.